Yo, what's good? What up?
We in here.
Yo,
We are here.
Yes, sir.
we're here.
What
Another
up?
day, another week,
Another week.
Another day, another dollar.
another day, another few dollars.
Another chance to get it right.
Hey,
That's a good way to look at
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
Never thought of it like that.
Another chance
so
to
how
get
you
it
look
right.
at life then? Like, what you mean?
I don't know, bro. I don't be looking ahead, yo. I'm just trying to get by. Like,
You just try to get by. You don't
just
look
trying to get
ahead.
by. I'm trying, man.
Sometimes
Drowning.
you gotta.
I came up with some shit the other day. I looked at it like, you can't fix what happened that day, but you can fix tomorrow.
Mm.
Yeah.
Popped up in my head. Right?
Spit
While you
that
was
wisdom,
driving?
God.
No, I was saying that to Michelle.
Was that after the injection?
No, that's before. That was a before effect.
Okay.
I guess reading Mark's book got me a little.
Oh.
That's
like,
what it is.
Okay.
hold on, maybe I could come up with some slogans. Or something, right?
some tweetables.
some of those, some gems.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
Word up. So we starting on a positive note.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
So
man.
today, as you see, we got Mark's up here,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro.
I'm in
Mr.
here.
Author.
Mr. Author. You know
Wow,
what's funny? You know
wow.
what's funny? He was like, yo, Mark's outside. Can you go park his car? And I'm like, bro, relax. His book just dropped.
I'm saying I need somebody to park my car real quick.
Yeah. You know, valet.
Yeah, you gotta roll out the red carpet. I'm saying.
You heard, bro. I ain't say, I ain't say that at
I
all.
was dying.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what we doing, man? And then I get outside. He facing that way, like he about to leave. He was like, oh, I went back there. Mad parking.
Yo, he asked me, I don't understand what you mean. I saw him pull out and go that way. No
Yeah.
homo, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
I saw you in the window. I saw him, and I'm like, you're facing the right way. Now look to your right
No,
at
he
the
ain't
end.
say that. He ain't say
I
that.
said, look
Yeah,
to
he
your
ain't say
right
that.
at the end of the street
He ain't say
and
that.
look for parking. And he's like, I don't know what you mean, sir. I'm like, you're right.
So
like
he
left,
pulled,
right.
pulled in the parking.
No, he
and
was
then
like-
he came back out.
He was like-
going that way.
No. He was like, where you parked at before, you turn right. So I'm like,
No.
turn right.
No, because
It's like-
that was at first, because I didn't notice that you was parked right here.
Yo, were you here before?
Yeah.
Nah,
The other
last
day
week.
when I dropped, when
When I
I
got
dropped
the
the
book.
book off. Yeah.
No, but he parked in the front though. It wasn't like a visitor
Oh,
parking.
okay.
Yeah. So I'm here though.
Yeah,
we
you
here.
here.
We
How
doing-
is it?
we
How's it
doing-
feel? When was the official release date of
Yesterday.
the book? Yesterday. Okay.
September 17th.
Oh, so we had early release.
We had
Yeah.
early release,
We had an extra early release. Too.
Early release.
Yeah.
Y'all VIP.
And it's funny because he wrote in the book and all, so I got his signature.
Yeah.
He wrote my name.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, so
Yeah.
you shipped it to him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was a little
Yeah.
confused. I was like, yo, I
Yeah.
got it first. And
He
then he
got
said
it,
something
he
about
got it,
Amazon. I'm like, Amazon? What are you talking about?
No Amazon.
Nah, it was
straight from
post
the
office,
site.
right?
Yeah, straight from the
post
site.
office.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got his little autograph and all. Like,
Yeah, I know. Michelle was like, can I write it? I was like, no. She was like, can I open it? I was like, no, you're going to crease the thing. She was
Nah.
like, why? I was like, I don't want you to mess it up.
She reading it. You gotta let her read it. You gotta let her read it.
how's it feel? Like, what was the? Walk us through the process.
Man.
How long you been writing the book for?
So, man, I got the concept when I was a freshman in high school.
Wow.
So I was in English class. We had this group called, like, I think it was Literature Circle or something, where you pick a book. Each, like, it was like 4 groups, like, get a certain book you read. So it was this book called Be More Careful by Shannon Holmes. So I'm reading this book, hood. They talking about murder, drugs, sex. Like,
Yeah.
really invested. I never was a reader. Never. Until I read that book. I'm like, yo, they talk about us, like it's our skin color, what we go through and everything like that. I'm like, yo, I could do something like that.
Right.
So from there, like, it just started like building and like growing. And I always felt like I wasn't a good writer.
Yeah.
I just never paid attention to it, but I knew I could tell a story. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, I
so
get you.
writing and tell a story is 2 different things.
I'm good at that.
Yeah. So telling a story I'm good at, but it's like really putting it on paper. So fast forward like 15 years and
Shit.
like
Nah,
it's
bro, we've
here.
been out of school longer than that.
No, yeah.
Nah,
so we've been
no.
out of school for
It's
like
20 years, bro.
Like yeah. So it's
no.
like
Freshman
18.
year. Freshman
No,
year.
our freshman year is 20 years ago.
Oh shit.
9/11
yeah.
happened. We were freshmen
20
in high
years,
school.
We was
Damn.
20 years, man. 20 years. So this is the third version. So I started writing it, wrote about 30 pages back then. And then probably like 2010, 12, matter of fact, I tried it again, wrote about 50 pages. Now, different now.
Yeah.
Different times.
Same
different,
characters?
Same characters.
Okay.
So
Same
you had the
storyline in
idea
my
for
head.
the 3 characters.
Right, same everything, but I started it a different way each
Gotcha.
time.
But you kept the original concept though from the 30 pages?
Original
Okay,
concept.
okay.
Original concept. And then once I did that, I mean, this time around, I just started because I had an outline. That's what changed the game for me.
Okay.
Once I had an outline to tell you, okay, this chapter, I'm going to write about this. This is a scene, and you just, basically write it out.
Just one in.
It worked for me. It worked. So yeah, and it feels good because to see something that you only dreamed about like for 20 years,
Yeah.
like
Right.
to actually
That's
come
wild.
out, it was.
Yeah, that should be a
dope
cool
too,
feeling.
man.
Yeah.
But another thing, where you get the name for the characters?
All right, so Johnny was just telling me that. So they are based off my family.
Right.
Well, not based. There are their names, but it's
Right.
not their
I saw,
story.
Yeah, I saw that. first
Right.
chapter.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's
You
not
use
their
their
story.
names, but it's not them.
Right. So Davion's middle name is Kashmir.
Right.
And Kashmir to me, it's sort of me in a sense. Like it's not my story, but
Alter ego?
the feelings, the morals, the values, how he treat women is more so me. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
so.
right.
I took it from my son Davion, and that's his middle name, and I named the character Kashmir. Then Mace comes in. Now Mace is not any of my family name, but Mace, when I thought about him, it's a combination between my cousin Diddy and my cousin Sun. It's like when I was writing them, I'm like, they both love women. A lot of women, and they get it popping. You get what I'm saying? And they never was into like relationships. You get what I'm saying? They just want to, to be these
On
fly
and pop.
dude.
Throwing all
Basically.
their business
Catch and
out
release.
there.
No, I know. All
It's
of
called
it.
catch and release.
It's a
Fucking our game
disclaimer. So that was Mace, and then Kareem is my cousin's name.
Right.
And it's kind of loosely based around him too, because at one point he was in the streets and stuff like that, but it's not his story, if that makes sense.
Right.
Gotcha.
So those characters really were birthed from that, and I'm thinking of my family, but also just thinking of somebody like I met and like kind of wrote about.
Different stories.
Yeah.
All right, another thing, because a lot of it is. Well, were you going like rated R? Like, what you rate this book? Like,
It's
No,
rated
it's
R.
definitely rated R.
It
That
is rated
shit
R.
started
you
off
call with
rated
it?
R.
Yeah,
From
it's
the
rated
second you
R.
start reading.
no, that's why I'm asking, because
Yeah,
you had
word.
some explicit
Yeah.
words in that.
You know what? I had to pull it in. So
Whoa.
I see that. You mentioned it a lot.
yeah, man. It was crazy because you have to catch people in the beginning from the first line. The first line is, I will kill you right where you stand.
Yeah.
Right.
And from there, you like, what you trying to kill him for? Like, what this
Right,
dude
right,
done
right.
did?
That shit automatically,
Right.
the rating went up.
Yo, I'm
this shit ain't
telling
G.
you.
This shit ain't PG.
Yeah, and it was I don't know if y'all remember Grand Street Projects
Yeah.
in Patterson.
Yeah.
So it's based out of there. So I used to live in Grand Street, and when I was writing the scene vividly, like I could see them on the 10th floor. I used to live on the 10th floor, the last floor, of the building or whatever, like her, just storming out and him just going downstairs trying to catch her, because you find out later on in the story who the girl is that called. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
It all ties in, and it's gonna jump to the main characters of the present day, and then it's gonna slowly but surely all tie in together.
It's like a spin. All right, I see.
It was
Yeah.
dope.
Like,
The way,
Yeah.
even the way you started.
finished the book?
What you call? No. I didn't finish it.
Oh,
because even when you started in the beginning, you have like that little what you call it?
Prologue.
The prologue. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you go into
Like the preview?
actual story.
Yeah. You get like a little.
well, that's a
preview.
flashback,
Yeah.
right? It's not considered
It's a
flashback.
It's a flashback in this sense. Not all the time are prologues flashbacks. flashbacks, but in this sense, it's a flashback because you got to see where it started from.
I learned that in
Because
school 6, by the way.
School 6. But the premise of it had to kind of show you where it started because it's built on broken pieces.
Right.
So that's the broken piece in the beginning.
Gotcha,
then you see why it was built
That's
on
just dope.
broken
It was
pieces.
so built
You know what I like? The fact that you use names of where we grew up.
Yeah.
And
I kept it in
that-
Patterson.
Right, and that's what
Did you-
attracts me to want to like continue
Continue
reading
reading
into
it?
it
Yeah.
because it's like that's
You from
our
I
around
heard,
here.
that's I heard,
like,
that's
you know what I'm
the
saying?
hood.
Like,
The Governor Street one, is that your old house?
Yes.
It was, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure
Governor
like,
Street,
what,
we lived
why
down there for
Governor Street?
years.
It's specific with the name. I'm like, that's the house he grew up.
Yeah, house I grew up, and it's crazy because my cousins ask me all the time, like, "Is this book about me?" Like, I want.
Nah, relax.
Nah,
They
it's
want to
not.
be in it. Nah, because they want to be in it.
Even though my family got a story to tell,
Right.
half of them,
They got their
you
own
know,
story.
Yeah, they got
Yo,
their own
even
story.
if it
but-
is,
yeah.
you can't admit that.
Oh
'Cause
yeah,
when you
no, they
make
ain't
it,
get no money.
When you
They ain't get no
word, when you make it, they're gonna be
They
like,
ain't-
"Yo,
they
that
ain't
shit
get-
was off me."
Yeah, no bank, but yeah.
Nah, that's what's
So-
up, man. So, when it comes to, because you said once you had the outline,
Yeah.
like it made it easier,
Right.
But how does it feel to just sit there and be like, all right, I'm about to start typing?
Bet.
Like,
So
you know
You
what I'm
typed it or you
I
handwrote it?
type it.
Okay.
I typed everything. So my writing was 5 a.m., 5:30 in the morning, like in the mornings.
Oh, like fresh.
Like literally rolling out of bed, like
So a dream thought.
yeah. I woke up right with it. The night before, I already prep in my head like this is what's coming up. So let me prepare myself. So when I get up in the morning, only thing I got to do is get up and get to the computer. Yo, some mornings, literally, I will write one sentence and go back to sleep.
Shit.
Because 5:30 in the morning, like you
Sometimes.
you
I'm
still
tired,
asleep,
like
man.
you get what
I'm
I'm
still
saying.
asleep.
So,
I'm up.
I'm still in bed.
but I had to finish it, and it was the way for me to still get motivated. Like I wrote a sentence, like it's
Right.
something.
It's something
Nah,
more.
hell yeah.
It
Something
adds
more-
up.
It's something more than yesterday.
Yes. Yeah, see, look, there it is. There it is. So that was kind of like the right.
Yeah, you brought it back.
Brought it all the way back. But yeah, so that's kind of like how it was. How I
In the
how I
mornings,
did it.
was this
Now-
before or after a blunt, or did you even try to think of
This-
smoking
this
through all
was
of it?
before, you know.
This is just the first morning before brushing your teeth and all
He
that.
didn't
Yeah.
even brush. He
No.
said he rolled out of bed and
No,
started typing.
literally, and I had to because I couldn't. Anything couldn't distract me, like nothing at all. Nobody
Colgate,
was up.
Colgate to fuck your
No-
senses up.
Yeah, like I wanted to do everything like raw and like just
Whoa,
sit
pause.
and just.
All right.
We on there.
I hear that.
But yeah, no distractions. I just sat there and then I did it.
That's what's
That's
up.
what's up.
did
that's
it.
what's up.
This third time around, how long did it take you? Because you said you wrote 2 different versions. Before.
Yeah.
So when did you start this version?
So I started it October 1st. I gave myself I
Of
was
last
like-
year?
Of last year.
Okay.
I was like,
COVID.
I'm gonna do it. I wanted to do it in 6 months, but it ended up being 7 because I took a whole month off. It takes a lot out of you, especially when you're writing for, I say 3.5 characters, but it's
Yeah, that's a
really
lot, man.
4. Like, and they all have a mind of their own. They all have a story. They all have a different way of
Right. There's,
emotions. Like it is crazy because when I wrote Cashmere, it's like I was writing me because he's so sensitive,
Right.
you know, in a sense, and so caring when it comes to his lady and how she feel and you know stuff like that. So that part was good. But then you got Mace, somebody that I'm not. Like I never was a player. I never was, you know, one that would take a girl in the bathroom
Yeah,
and
so-
smash her at a club
I mean-
and don't care. Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. But yeah, so I had to get in that mindset. And then you got Kareem, somebody who's in the street life, you know, potentially selling drugs and you know potentially you know running blocks and stuff. It's parts that I didn't hit, but I had to tap into because I had to bring the character to life.
right.
You
so
get
you
what
had
I
to
mean?
jump
Give him
in.
his
You had to
detail.
jump in different
Yo,
bags. Like,
yeah.
and the females that were in the books, you had to
Yes.
jump in that bag. 'Cause
Exactly.
Every character has a background.
Every character
That's a
has
lot
a-
of thinking, yo.
Yo,
So
I'm telling
do you felt like in every part that you wrote, you write like let's say you wrote Cashmere out first, or do you write like I woke up today? Today I'm thinking more of Mason. I mean, ready with my. Or did you just write one character at a time, or
one
did you-
character at a time. So, like, if I knew the next day Cashmere chapter was coming up, I write him, and
Okay.
then the you know. So how the book is written is is Kashmir, Mace, Kareem.
Right.
Kashmir, Mace, Kareem.
Right.
So, and then you'll find out who Jane is, you know, in the midst of that too.
Right.
But that's how I was. So back to back, and it always went like that. It never was, you know, Kashmir then Kareem. No, it was Kashmir, Mace, Kareem. Kashmir, Mace, Kareem, because it all flowed together in a sense. When Kashmir chapter end is going into, you know, Mace, and it again all ties together. So
right.
yeah, I just made sure, you know, each day. I wish I could have just woke up and be like, all right, today I feel like Kareem, I feel like shooting mugs, and and you know, or I'm Mace, I want to, you know, write.
Like
Right.
sometimes you wake up, you want to listen to some smooth shit. Sometimes you wake up like I want some hit 'em up music. Like I'm trying to rob somebody today.
That's true though. That's true though. So
How did you find whatever company you wanted to deal with to make the book possible?
right. So I've been publishing for years. Like shout out to Erica Monique Williams. She was a teacher of ours.
Miss Williams.
You know, from School 6. And I helped her publish 7 books, and 2 of them
so
made.
you do this?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 2 of them made the Essence magazine bestsellers list. Like we sold over 10,000 copies of books. So
That's good, man.
everything, I haven't done that since 2012, but I had my resources that, you know, I already had in my arsenal. I knew people. So I just used those same resources, you know, to do my book. Like, and it was amazing from the printing. Like literally, I walked in the printer and they were so happy to see me because they like, I finally see your name on something,
Right.
Not Erica. You
Erica's
get
your
what I'm
own.
saying?
Right.
This is your book, and it made me feel good because I built these relationships because I always wanted to write a book.
Right.
And now to be able to use it and then they see it, I'm like,
That's
yo,
it. Yeah, you made
like,
that.
Now,
I'm good.
and the website, you created that?
Yeah. So funny thing about the website, I paid somebody to do it. The person went MIA on me
After you paid?
With the money?
after I paid them. And I was like, you know what? I was talking to my wife. I was like, yo, I'm going to do it myself. She was like, you can. Like, just do it. I lost out on the money, but at the end of the day, it became
It pushed you
what
to
I
do it
want.
yourself.
Exactly.
It's like the editing with us.
Exactly.
So, and then
Yeah.
there's other books you can order on that website. Whose books are
Yeah,
those?
so that's
Erica's.
Erica's book. She has a book coming out in the new year, 2022. It's called Nothing Matters. Now I don't want to forget that. Nothing Matters, and it's really about, you know, a guy that, you know, had a dream of living in his luxury condominium overlooking the water, but he moves on the floor of a racist cop. And we know where we at with racist, you know, cops, and from there everything just spiral out of control from him.
All right,
from
that's
himself.
her book
Is
coming
her
out
stuff available for pre-order also?
Yeah, so 2022.
So there you go.
on that same site.
On the
correct?
same site,
site.
lifelyricsentertainment.com.
Yeah, it'll
so,
be in the bottom of the description.
Yeah.
Shit, man. So that's
Yeah.
what, 7-8 books for her now?
So that's 8. That's 8.
Yeah, she killing
And
it.
we went through, I mean, the process, like, we started in 2008. She was signed to a publisher. The publisher wasn't really how we wanted them to be as far as like marketing. Yeah, they put the book out, but they weren't really like making sure it was successful. You know, and not to say nothing about them. I don't want to say the name of the publishing company because they really did an amazing job, you know, with the layout of the book and stuff like that. So we said in my mind, I was like, I could probably do half of the stuff that they are doing for you. So let's try to do it on our own.
There you go.
We dropped the second part to that book and literally it blew up. Like, and from there we just was good.
Are you
good.
Are you thinking of writing another book, or do you think this one took a lot? Oh, you started another one.
Yeah, I started. So I was supposed to be farther with the second book, but I want to stop and kind of take in the feedback from this one.
Right. So you know where to go.
The mistakes.
Yes, yeah, especially the mistakes, because I told you I never believed in my writing before.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So in order for me to get better, because my goal is to one day be on a New York Times bestseller. Like that is, to me, if I ever hit that plateau, that mean I did something. You get what I'm saying?
That's a goal.
Right, that's a goal.
That's the end game for it.
Right. So I started. I'm little in probably like the first chapter, so it's really new. But the outline is done, the concept is done. We were on our vacation. Me and my wife, we just got married, so we was on a honeymoon. So we was literally sitting by the pool, sitting and eating, talking this new book out.
Good shit.
She cannot read it until I finish. I let
I thought you
her.
was gonna say she can't read. That's fucked up.
They do her business out there like that.
Cannot read either, guys. She cannot read either. So no, we ain't gonna do her like that. But so we fleshed it out and really got everything down. So like this next one is more of a love story.
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
Good.
A
I was
he and
just
her?
about to ask you too. Like,
A he
you're
and
gonna
she?
switch it up.
Yeah, he and she. Yeah.
I don't know, because nowadays, I mean, we spoke a lot on this podcast
the Lord
about
is my
all the
Savior,
content.
and I shall not want.
Oh, shit, I don't even know what he said,
Yeah,
but
right.
amen.
I can't. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with the next book. But I'm taking everything in, reading reviews, which can be good or bad,
Right.
because
Right.
the book is not for everybody.
Right. So
Everything's
that's what I
not
was gonna
for
say
everybody,
too. Like, you're gonna get negative reviews most likely, which is a good thing, right? Because don't you want negative reviews? But you also can't let it sway you into
Right.
like not being confident in yourself,
Right.
Or, but yeah, nah, like because then you could take a negative review and then start overthinking the next
Right.
book, and then it might take you longer to, or you
Right.
might do something different, and now your fan base from your first book might, dang, you kind of like fell off, like,
Right.
You got soul.
So what are you gonna look for?
So
Like in reviews, what are you gonna look for?
So the crazy part is, so if I receive a negative review, I would try to reach out to the person to try to get more feedback.
Yeah.
What was it about it that you didn't like? And from there, not that I would like weigh on it, too much, but I would use that and think about that as I'm writing. But it can't stop me.
Yeah. Question,
can't.
but do you feel like a negative will kind of hold you back a little bit though?
So it depends. When I read books, I look at reviews. I do.
Before you read it.
Before I read it. Now, it doesn't deter me from reading the book if it's a lot of negative reviews. But if the person is saying the same thing, or the person's is saying the same thing, then I'm like,
There's something with it then.
it's something
Right.
with it.
And one person says it don't really mean much, but
Right.
that's a whole piece.
but there's a trick to that too.
Because they read it first, and it's already embedded in their mind.
Because it's the same
of
shit
that.
with music.
Exactly.
Same
I
shit
agree.
with music.
I agree.
Well, that's a facts with opinions. Like people usually are sheep, so they'll follow.
That's
the
what
negative.
I'm saying. So
They'll
you don't
go
want
with
him to read a negative review and then another one's the same. And it's just because
Well-
that person was like, yo, that person was right, and barely read the
Well,
whole
honestly,
book.
I'm just sitting here saying that we want some negative comments, but nobody want to do it. I don't know.
That's true too. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
we want all of
people.
it.
Let me tell you, it's some cruel people out here.
I like it. Bring it on.
Yo, there's some cruel people out here, and it's okay. My thing is, it's a way to do it. Like, you could do it without downing the author or going left with the review.
right, right.
Like,
That's the
let's
shit.
talk about the book. Like, don't. Oh, I would. I
what
don't
you
even
would've
know
did?
what they.
It's not your
they-
book.
Yeah, word up.
My
Write,
book.
write a book. How about
and
that?
It, and
Hey,
it's,
what
and
you
it's
sit there and
not
write it?
easy. It is really not easy, and I think a lot of people need to, understand that while reviewing. Yeah, you probably didn't like the book, but just know, like, this person spent a lot of
some
their
time on it.
time,
Right.
and resources on
Right,
this jump
that's
to
it.
make
That's
sure
his
it's
thought.
good.
Right, that's his thought and feeling
And
into
if
it.
it
like,
ain't something for you, just
it ain't for
It-
you.
it's not. And
that
it's-
don't make the book bad. That
Right.
don't make if
The
it was
writer
music,
whack,
that don't
you
make
know?
the album bad.
Yeah,
If it was
right.
food, that doesn't make the food bad.
Exactly.
Like, it's just
Exactly.
But people are so. I feel like
Opinionated.
people are so bored half the time.
Nah, for real.
That they got a
They
lot of
cyberbully.
time to sit there and just start writing.
Well-
Like, yo, full reviews.
Yeah.
Have you ever went to a restaurant and then went on Yelp and wrote about it?
No.
No.
But then you go and it's like 1,000 reviews and it's like, yo, y'all all ain't got no lives.
Nothing to do.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
I'm not the type of person to eat. Like, if this shit nasty,
It's nasty.
I'm
Keep
gonna
it
eat
moving.
it though. No,
You're gonna eat it because you
I paid
bought
for
it.
this
Ah, yeah,
shit.
word up. And then I'm gonna keep it
Alright.
moving.
It depends, because it's some stuff is unbearable to eat though.
Like what?
Then I will be calling that waiter back. Like, yo, my man.
I never been
I
in that
need a
situation
different
though. I taste some nice shit, and that's
Yeah,
so
you eat octopus, sir.
That shit good
That shit
though.
good.
It's popping.
Okay, look, I guess I'm outnumbered.
Alright, what you
Talking
eat,
about
yo?
that,
Yeah,
I got some in the fridge right now.
Oh no,
What you eat, yo?
no.
You know octopus?
I was about to say my
Are you
wife.
like?
No octopus.
I'm saying, it could probably be the same thing. Nah.
You wouldn't know because you don't eat it.
Right.
True though.
Can't
But,
compare.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Now, are you having like an event, like a what would they call those? Like
A book release.
Book release event.
So I decided this
Is that
time
possible
around.
around
No,
this
it is.
time?
It is.
How does that work for books anyway? I don't know much about.
It depends.
You go to like a
Because
Barnes and Nobles or a
either
bookstore, like.
so Barnes and Nobles.
Oh, chocolate.
I mean,
Chocolate.
Coogee chocolate. I said chocolate.
Yeah, Barnes and Nobles doesn't really support independent authors or indie authors.
big
you know,
time,
Like
right.
you have to be signed with these major publishers
Right.
that have
Right.
100 and something titles.
I don't even
you
think
know,
I would
stuff
go
like.
to Barnes and Nobles, regardless.
No.
Yo, I had to go in there a few weeks ago because for my daughter's school, she needs a Webster's dictionary.
Oh.
And for some reason,
They don't have it.
no store sells it, but fucking Barnes and Nobles. So I was forced to go into this fucking store.
What you had against Barnes and Nobles though? Jesus.
I ain't really got no reason to be in there. The motherfucker's sitting at the Starbucks drinking coffee.
No, the crazy part is when I was in school,
Ain't nobody
that's where
buying
I
books?
went. That's where I went.
Buy books.
No, it was
I've
in
been
there.
in there.
They still
Everybody was
open?
at that Starbucks.
No, I go the one. On
You go in there?
3.
What book you reading, yo?
None, but
Fuck
I
outta
just walk in
here.
They got
You
puzzles.
just go in there?
They got puzzles and shit.
Yo, watch this man, yo.
Yeah, you gotta watch 'em.
Randomly
with
in
her.
the Barnes and Nobles.
I go with
she
her.
shopping. All right.
Yeah. I don't go with her. I don't go for myself. I go with
All
her.
right.
Okay.
They sell games in there.
Okay.
Board games, not
We-
video.
That's
we're-
what I said. They got
Yeah,
puzzles
we're
and
not
shit.
He bought
there
a
for
puzzle.
games. I can't. But yeah, so
But-
they don't really do independent authors like that.
Is there a spot in Patterson that does?
Chocolate
No,
chocolate.
but
Nah, that spot ain't even open no more, right?
no, I don't
Nah,
think so.
right?
Nah.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Dude,
wow.
that's when we were like still in school.
Yeah, I was a kid, bro.
Yeah, like
Yeah, like we were young.
That shit
we
was
were
across the
young
street
back
from the
then.
library.
because
But-
that'll be dope for you to be able to have within your own community, your own town. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? To be able to push your brand.
Right. So I'm doing the event on October 2nd. It's called the best. Oh my God! And I don't want to mess up the name. The best of something. My wife gonna get it
My
to me, and
man.
I'm gonna get back.
Right.
Get it back to you.
I need you to know
So
this.
I know
The
the
best of.
something showcase. My wife about to pull
So
it up.
it's
but
multiple. It's multiple people.
It's multiple vendors.
Okay.
But they're talking about business strategies, like
Okay.
all small businesses coming together to learn, different things. So they're gonna have an information session. I think it's from like 12 to 1, where business owners come in to learn
Okay.
more of how to build basically a better business.
Right.
And then after that, it's all vendors. You
Nice.
shop with your vendors.
Okay,
you talk
okay.
to them. You. So this is like kind of my first event that I'm gonna be talking about the book and promoting the book and getting it popping.
Where is this at?
So this is at the Crown Plaza. Is at the Crown Plaza in Saddlebrook.
Saddlebrook.
Yeah,
Check that out.
and
October
it's
2nd.
October 2nd.
All
It
right.
starts at 12 o'clock. Doors open at 11. Come in. The session is from 12 to 1, and then after 1, you shop with all the vendors. Some dope
Nice.
vendors though. Some dope vendors. I looked at the vendor sheet. Some dope vendors.
So
So,
chocolate ain't gonna be there.
yeah, probably. Probably one of them.
Them motherfuckers do not exist.
Yeah.
I seen a commercial of that like years ago.
We were kids, bro. That was like
Yeah.
they had chew sticks and books.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had all the the
Yeah.
African books and all
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
The statues.
That's crazy.
Statues.
Yeah, I remember all
They
that.
don't
Remember chew
have
sticks?
stores like that.
Nah.
anymore.
Well, I mean, it's
I'm sure
more
there's some.
that-
Newark
I'm sure
do.
Newark. I'm
Yeah,
sure
Newark do.
does.
That's because Newark is still like they're strict with that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they
Yeah,
held
no, I
their
get you.
ground, yo.
Are
Like,
you saying there's still more 5%ers out there? Like,
there's definitely more 5%.
Oh yeah, because the store in Newark, the bookstore in Newark, that's who's like.
what it is.
Well,
that's
that's
what type of
who
store.
had all those spots in Patterson back
Yeah.
in the 90s
Yeah.
and early 2000s.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
correct.
little by little, that
Crack
shit
your
was
Yeah.
set.
back and
Cause your Broadway look bad, bro. That street looks bad.
Yeah,
These people
yeah.
are.
Yeah.
Yo,
it's
let me
looking
tell you
worse.
something.
It is
I
looking
love my city. Like
Oh,
I will
absolutely.
always
Oh, yeah.
rep for my city. I will always,
I talk about my
be
city
from
everywhere I
Patterson.
go.
But I'm really happy that I got a chance to experience something outside
Something
of
else
it.
out, right? Yeah, which a
Yeah.
lot of people
and
don't.
a
get
lot
to
of
do
people
that.
don't.
Yeah.
Because even
So-
some of the people that we grew up with
Yeah,
Yeah.
still in there.
have not been outside that town.
Yeah.
They don't know
And
what.
it's crazy.
They don't know what down the shore look like.
Yeah. they don't know what it is to be on an airplane. You get what I'm saying?
Or
Like,
out of Jersey.
or
out of
airport.
Jersey, like yeah,
Or in general.
or
That's crazy.
because a lot of them go to the South, out of Jersey or
Right.
out of the South. Like, what else do you know outside of that? And let me tell you something. I'm not saying nothing about them because
it's
they're
no
living a
disrespect.
life that
Yeah,
they are
it's
accustomed
oppressed.
to.
Yeah.
But I am happy that I was able to be one of the ones to experience something.
She was
different.
out of it.
And gonna do that for my son, and then
Right,
hopefully
right.
my
Yeah, no,
son
you're
do it for
blessed,
his
man.
son.
You're
So,
blessed. Right, right.
yeah,
It's a blessing.
yeah, most definitely,
Definitely a
because
blessing.
a lot of people don't make it out. A lot of
Nah,
people
definitely
don't.
not. No,
so
definitely not.
Even like I look at this as a blessing, like for us to be able to sit here and just like talk to people for
Word
a little
up.
bit. You get what I mean?
Word
like,
up.
Because a lot of people don't. Like, you know, we grew up around people that had stories, bro.
Yeah,
Like, and
yeah.
they've never been heard.
yeah,
You get what I mean? So
yeah.
There's a lot of people out there with good talents that that will never be
Right.
heard neither. Like,
So one of the reasons why I started Life Lyrics Entertainment is definitely my company, but it's for the people from where we from that has a voice but doesn't have the platform for the voice.
yo, you heard
Right.
it.
Yeah,
Right.
Life Lyrics Entertainment. Like I'm really talking about, people that write, and even music wise, because music is my first love.
Yeah,
you get what I'm
man.
saying?
well,
like I love
it was
music.
it was a lot of it in that book also. You mentioned,
oh, yeah, so-
you mentioned.
Yeah, so how Kashmir, because he's the singer, how his chapters start out, it starts out with music
With a
because
song,
he's
right.
a entertainer, he's a R&B singer, like he wants to, sing to the masses. So when I started thinking about the book, I'm like, Kashmir has to be songs to start it off, and those songs is the meaning of the chapter.
And
Right.
you wrote some of the artists' names. You credited
Yes.
it.
He used
Yes.
a lot of
So
lyrics
you
in that
can't-
song,
so
bro.
Lyrics.
Now you did that so you can't get in trouble.
No,
From
so it is a certain amount of lyrics you can use in
You're
the
allowed. Okay.
in the book. I use kind of the top to
The line. Okay.
but I needed to use the part of the song that went with the chapter.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? So
All right.
some lyrics are more than the others. Like it depends on the thought behind the chapter or the feel behind the chapter.
Yeah, nah, I
So-
thought that was dope too.
Yeah.
But that was a question on my head. Like, damn, like, will you get in trouble, or if as long as you credit the artist, they don't.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like as long as I ain't making millions off it, they ain't gonna care.
Well,
Yeah.
first and foremost, the people that he even mentioned, they still making music still. So why not get a shout out in something new and revamping them again? Like, you know
Right,
what I mean?
because
That's
a lot
what
of them are '90s artists because
Right.
it's set in the early 2000s,
Yeah.
type of feel where
Right.
MySpace was still out, where we were still bumping
yeah, actually,
CDs.
off like the
and-
first chapter, you get that feeling. Like,
Yeah.
this is old.
Yeah.
When I read Grant Street Projects, I was
Yeah.
like, ah, he threw it back.
Yeah, threw it all the way back. And somebody asked me, why did you take it back so far? That was just a time in my life where everything was just so dope and
Yeah.
so
So it was an
fun.
impactful part of your life. that you
Yes,
had to write.
like 2005, bro. That's when we graduated. You
Right,
get what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
That's when we, went out into the world where we saw things.
Yeah,
so
that is it. Like,
yo,
step in.
I loved
shit.
it. I loved it, and I
it.
got
Yeah, word
to,
up.
I can write about the past because I've been there. You get
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
So it was therapeutic to look back at some of those moments
That's dope.
and
That's cool.
different things. So
Yeah, I'm thinking of writing a rap song, but
Yeah.
hey, come on, kick it right now, kick it
So-
right now,
Spit.
kick
I don't got to do a little
Hey,
beat.
hey.
All right, now, I ain't ready. Audiobook. Will you want to? I asked you this before, but
Yeah.
now I want your answer because
Yes. So with audio, I'm definitely looking into it. Audio is a different beast because you have to find somebody to narrate. I'm not narrating because
Right.
it's just not my talent.
Right, okay.
So you have to find somebody to narrate, but it's also a lot of logistics in the background as far as like payment because some and I want to tell all this. A lot of people don't like to give information for people to grow and to be better authors.
Right.
So when it comes to audiobooks, you're paying the person that does it either per book or you're giving them an advance of a lot of money
Right, it's
to
like a contract
actually
deal.
right
Right.
record it. So I think that I'm trying to find somebody that is willing to that fits with the characters, of course, but
Right.
also
now, more
is
than one
willing.
voice or just the person
That's
that's
where
going to
I'm
read
at.
it. Are you?
That's where I'm at. So whoever I find first, I have to see if they're comfortable with kind of like changing their voice or
okay.
portraying
Yeah, 'cause-
like a different character because it's literally 3.5, because Jane, I said, is gonna come up, you know, in a book too. I gotta see if they're comfortable reading all. So it's a
that's
lot
gonna be a
of-
challenge.
Yes.
It's not like you get that that basic white man reading it.
Right.
You're not trying. Right.
Right. And because
So he said he will die right where he
He
stands.
won't even pronounce the names right.
right. So I need somebody
Macion said.
word up. So yeah, I have to find somebody that is.
See,
so
that part's
what
gonna
happens
be
is you upload like 1 to like 3 chapters, right?
Okay.
And they actually send you a sample of them reading it.
Well, like the Indian dudes overseas.
Nah,
I ain't knowing, yo. Those motherfuckers. Yo, some dude called me the other day, Pete. And I'm like, yo, Pete, what happened? He's like, yo, something about my insurance. I was like, Pete, you fucked up my insurance? What? Yo, that dude hung up so fast.
you gotta get them back. You gotta play with them, yo. You
Dude
gotta
hung up
play
so
with them.
fast. He haven't called me again. Like, yo, get out of here, bro.
Yeah.
Pete. Shout out to Pete.
Yeah, shout out.
He was like, oh shit, he onto it. He was like, oh, fuck out of
He
here.
gone it. FBI.
See, that's tough, man, because when you have so many characters, I mean, I don't know, bro. Like, I feel like
Do you feel it's better doing a book, a movie?
I want to do a movie.
You get what I'm saying?
I most definitely want
Like
to
it would be easier to do a movie than do a audio book.
I think the audiobook would be easier because we don't have to shoot location.
right.
Okay,
so
okay.
the audiobook would be easier, but
The movie will be more impactful because that way you can see it. I feel like people visualize more than they want to listen.
you put yourself in the movie.
No, I'm behind the camera type of dude.
Like, you
I'm
wouldn't
trying
play
to-
like Kashmir.
No, I've been
and the female
prepping.
on some Tyler Perry shit.
No Tyler Perry over here.
Here do the
No.
G part.
No Tyler Perry over here. I actually told Davion, I was like, yo, if I ever make a movie, like at this particular point, I said, would you play Kashmir? I said, because it's really
It's
us.
really you.
Like, right.
That's your name.
It's really us.
Like you already know.
Cashmere sings.
No. So that would be the only.
We can definitely like
that would be the.
Auto-tune
Yeah,
it.
put a.
yeah, it's studio
something.
magic. Like,
I'm
it may
saying
work.
right. But he said he'll do it though. He said he'll do
man.
it. Nah, we need to hire him.
Nah, I think a movie would be dope.
Yeah.
Like try to pitch the idea.
Yeah, definitely. So it's a lot of pictures because I got Life Livers Entertainment. So everybody always asks what's next. Like my book just came out and you're asking me
Yeah,
already
doing
we
now?
just asked you what's next a few minutes ago.
what's next.
No, the book's already out, so it is
Right,
what's
Right.
next.
Yeah, it's what's next.
But
So-
you right now you're trying to like absorb what's this right now.
Right. I have to because it's gonna help me better with writing. But when I get into film and stuff, I already got treatments for it. Like because I knew I was sitting down writing, and my wife was like, "You're doing something else. Your book ain't even come out." I'm like, "But they're gonna say what's next." So
Right.
I have to at least write some baseline of what's next because I need it. So a TV show, I don't want to say the name because it might change,
yeah.
but
You also don't want nobody snatching your shit.
right, exactly.
I don't know who out there.
Right. So I have that, but then also start developing the movie script too. So me and Erica is working with a big media TV production company in LA to shoot her first book as a TV pilot, and they are going to be shopping it, coming around too.
Okay, well.
Shit, shout out to you,
and
bro.
and literally, like the treatment is already written. Now we're working on a pilot. And the pilot is the first episode,
Right.
and we're
Set the tone.
Yeah,
Which becomes a
series.
Yeah, and it's crazy,
series.
all right? Because now you got to take that book and stretch it.
yes,
You get
Well,
what
no,
I'm
because
saying?
you get to put like either more detail into it.
right.
Nah,
And
but
you
think
could
about it.
show
To write
more.
a script, what
Especially
they
series.
said like what every half hour you need at least like what it's like 100 and something pages or some shit like that. In movie format, but you get what I mean. Like
Yeah,
you writing a
no.
show now, you talking about hours long.
Right. So we're
No, because the show usually would shoot for half to
Or
an hour.
45.
Yeah,
like
nigga,
some
what you
short.
gonna do? 2 episodes? Nah, you gonna do at least 10. That's
Yeah.
a couple hours.
That's
bro.
a season.
Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Or
So
do-
10
I
is
do
a
8.
season.
That's a season.
So it's 2 books. It's All That Glitters and the follow-up, which is Shining Star. So we're going to incorporate both.
Okay.
And wherever it go from there, even if it's not a book-wise, it's
Right, it
still
builds
a build.
past the book.
It builds past
Yeah.
the book. You
Okay,
get what I'm
okay.
saying? So
That's
that
how-
is coming along.
But that's also dope too,
Amazing.
because it's an older book.
Yes.
And people go back into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's pretty dope.
And
That makes the
that's set
value of that
into-
older book
Right,
go
right.
up.
Right. And it's set in the 90s too.
Right.
And 90s theme is like selling now. Like
Shit, like,
everybody
it's a
want to
shit
go back.
Let me know.
Everybody want to
Oh, of course.
be.
Bro, look at Griselda. Like,
Yeah.
those rappers are all 90s.
Yeah, you gotta go back because that's just was a fun time for a lot of us. You,
Right.
you get what
Lot
I'm
of
saying?
people.
Yeah. So
Lot of
and it's gonna hit a lot of different subjects too. So I'm happy to be working on that project.
Shit, let me know if they
as
shoot
well.
in Jersey. I'm
Oh,
over there, yo.
The
Yeah.
crazy part is based in Jersey, so we're gonna try to shoot it over here. But of course, it's
There's a lot to go with
whoever
that, yeah.
you know, the
Yeah.
production and all of that and stuff like that. But yeah, we moving out here.
Yeah, that's
I'm
dope,
trying.
that's
I'm
dope.
trying to do
Trying
a
to set
lot.
the future up for your kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mo-
I mean,
most
that's the goal,
definitely.
right?
That's
Yeah,
the goal.
that's definitely the goal. And I told Davion, I was like, "Yo, if anything ever happened to me, like this is you. You own it. You know, it's yours.
Right.
You know, whatever you want to do with it. You know, you do with
Did he
it
read the book?
and stuff like that."
Oh, it's still rated
Yeah,
R for him.
but no, I want him to read it. He need to read it.
Yeah, you read that book, you gonna be wild, man.
He-
Niggas talking
and
about
you
Yo,
know-
you ain't know what I did in this book.
But he
My
knew the
shit.
concept
He looked at you
because
like, Dad, I wasn't doing this shit.
yeah, man, I'm telling you. But he know the concept. I talk to him a lot, and I build with him. Like that's like my best friend. Hopefully, you know, he don't see this because I try not to tell him that because he think we boys.
No,
we ain't boys. We father and
we
son.
ain't
But
under 18. He's under 18. He can't see
right,
that.
exactly. But I sat down and talked to him, so he know the premise, you know, of the
Okay.
book
What it is, yeah.
and what it, you know, entails and stuff. But
I mean, especially he's been around me too. He know all about certain things.
he be cracking up. He always get a good laugh when he come around Juan because he's crazy.
Treat him like a boy.
So
That's what's up, man.
Yep.
So what? All right. So now you got book release October 2nd.
yeah.
You got the little. What you gonna be signing to?
Yeah, so
So you got a
it's
book
a vendor
signing. Okay.
signing. Yeah,
And then after October 2nd, where are you going from there? Not next book, just for this book in general.
right. So what I'm just gonna try to do is like to get it out there. You know, get the reviews, get the feedback. You know, better my craft.
Right,
At
right.
the end of the day, I'm still gonna be doing anytime I can get an interview or you know do anything pertaining to the book. I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna. This is my first book, so I'm
Right,
gonna
right.
be pushing this.
Yeah, you gotta
like,
ride his wave. Yeah,
oh
you
yeah,
gotta
I'm definitely gonna
But
ride
while
the
you doing
wave.
it, sharpen your tool.
Oh yeah, working in the background, you know, making sure everything is, you know, together and up and running. So right now, I'm a one-man band, you know,
Right.
really doing everything myself. So my goal is to extend that and, you know, bring in so many,
A group, right.
you know, other people to kind of like partner on different shows, partner on different, you know, things. I have a lot of things in my mind, but just
Right.
basically implementing it. So I'm not going to be doing anything like big until, you know, 2022 because it's just going to be built on broken
The book.
pieces for this right now, right?
Which is
for
cool
this
too,
time.
because I mean, you have a dream.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And you know what you want to do to execute it. And I mean, you
Mhm.
already executed a part.
Yeah.
I mean, he did a book.
How
Yeah.
was it? How was it like finishing that last page?
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck did that
Whew.
feel, yo?
It felt too good to be true because it was some mornings I woke up, I'm like, this never is gonna get done.
Right.
It's never gonna be over.
But that's
It's
you doubting
never
yourself.
gonna doubt
I
myself.
mean, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, right.
Every
So-
artist does that. you
Yeah,
know what
I
mean?
agree. I feel like even during the process, I'm sitting there, I'm typing like, I wonder if people gonna really understand what I'm trying to convey here, or the feeling that I want them to evoke.
So you were
inside
already worried
themselves.
about
He
somebody
thinking
else's
that
comment.
shit.
though.
Yeah,
He thinking that shit on the last page. Like, yo,
Yeah.
should I press the end right now?
yeah. It was crazy, but once I finished, I sat there and I just woosah like, yo. Now the real work starts because now I gotta go back, do edits myself. You get what I'm saying? Then I have to send it off and do edits. And I'm so anal. I did 2 edits for this book, like big edits, He ain't get on my nerves.
Go
He
ahead.
said he about anal.
He about it.
Oh yeah, oh my god.
And he was in it big.
Big Ed? Big Ed?
I
Big
can't.
Ed was there?
Yo, what a big Ed is.
Yeah,
Alright.
I gotta watch what I say, guys. Gotta watch what I say. But yeah. So I did 2 edits, and like literally, yeah,
Holy shit.
That
like
takes-
it was.
How was that?
That takes some time.
That was that second one?
No, the first edit is what took me out.
Right.
Because I got the first edits back and literally they put comments. So a little bit about the editing process too is you get the document back. In the document you have comments of what is this? Take out this. Why is this here?
Who are you
This
sending
don't
this
make
to?
sense.
Oh.
This is a professional editor. Like, dude, somebody that. So I had 2 editors. The first editor, B Love. Shout out to B Love. Look up her books. I mean, she has 100 and something books. Number 1 on Amazon. Like, she is the truth. She's more contemporary romance, type of
okay,
author.
gotcha.
She has her own publishing
Tyler
company
Perry
and
shit.
everything. Yo, she's the truth. Like, I'm telling you. Like, so she got the edits first. And when I got them back, it was like, okay, this. So I cut a lot in the beginning.
But then it started becoming somebody else's kind of look.
No. So what happened was the part that they cut, it was more so me telling and not showing. So when you write a book, you have to show them and not tell them, because when you tell them, it's just like you reading somebody's thoughts. But when you show them, it actually puts them in the room with them and around them, and you are like in the setting with them.
Right, they use your imaginations.
Right. So in the part that I had to cut, it was a lot of fluff, they said. And once I read it back, I'm like, you right.
Makes sense? Okay.
You
Like
know,
what I
I
said.
see.
Yeah, at least
It's some bullshit.
throw you
And
off.
it was good. It was good because it gave feeling, but it didn't
Translate
move
right in the story.
Past.
Gotcha.
You
Right.
get what I'm saying? It was just there. You get what I'm saying? It made you know the character because it was cut from Cashmere's chapter. It makes you know him a little bit more
Right.
of how he feel, but it's no story. Like, it's nothing.
Gotcha.
You can't build on it.
Right. So once I did that, it was bittersweet because I felt like it was good, but once they broke it down to me, because they detail why it should be cut, and give you pointers and like give you questions to say, why is this
Why
here?
is
And
this?
once you answer the question, be like, yeah, why is this here? You get what I'm saying?
Now,
So
nothing. So, but it wasn't like the grammar that you use, right?
no,
Like they
it
made you
wasn't grammar.
change?
It was
Okay.
more so feelings,
Okay.
basically.
Like, in other words, he made the character, but he was putting things in there that you can't build off of. Like,
Right,
it was
right.
just regular shit. Like, my man had dirty jeans. Like, who
right,
cares?
right,
You know
stuff
what I mean?
like that.
You know what I mean?
And it was more so
So it
with
gives you the
Cashmere.
visual.
Right.
It gives you a visual, but what you gonna do with the dirty? So what? What
Yeah,
about his
it's
dirty
not-
jeans?
Yeah, I know, because then you're gonna be like,
That means he haven't
what
been
he
washing his
washed with?
clothes.
It takes you down another road instead of just pushing
Where
you
it's
into
supposed
the
to go.
story.
Story
Right.
itself.
Right. So that once I got past that edit, the second edits was a little bit better.
Okay.
Shout out to Latasha Burns. She was the second editor on the book, and basically hers more so was cleanup. So we got the story structure, together. So then now we're gonna move on to making sure punctuation is right, making sure my sentences are complete.
That's when grammar comes in.
Oh yeah. The first Beloved did grammar too. I mean, amazingly. So, but she kind of like did cause she's an English major, so cleaned, like really cleaned it up. Like I read back this book, I'm like,
like,
yo,
I ain't write this shit.
I got it.
Like,
and
I don't even write this word like
and
that.
that's crazy because she had put a comment in the edits like, this don't make sense. Make it make sense for me. And it made me go back and be like, let me restructure this sentence to make it make sense.
Gotcha.
And that's what made the book so much better, because she challenged me to be like, sir, like what does this mean?
Right.
I don't understand what this means. And then when you send it back to her, if it flows right, she like, okay, this is good, or no, you need to rethink again.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying? So
That's dope.
the edits,
How long?
a month.
Month? That's not
not
bad.
A month.
That's not
So
Compared
Beloved
to
did
fucking
2
2
months.
years of it.
Yeah,
Right.
nah, that's not
Beloved
bad.
did 2 weeks of it, and then Latasha did 2 weeks of it. So it was. It
Man,
was
so they
like
sit
a
there and
month.
read the whole book. Like,
Yeah, but
man.
they read it multiple times. So they read it.
I guess they read it and then if it don't make sense, go back into it
Yeah.
and see and question it.
Yeah. Yeah, they real dope at what they do, bro.
Yeah,
like
that's
if
what's up,
you
man.
if when I was reading this and not
you
just
really
because
gotta-
it's my book.
You gotta love what you do.
Yeah.
Well, reading.
To do
You gotta
some
love
shit like
reading.
that.
yeah, you
I mean,
have
she's
to.
an English major. I'm pretty
I mean,
sure
she read
knows
the
Yeah.
book a couple times. Like, yeah,
and she's
word up.
dope. She's dope. And when I read it, I'm like, yo, this really can contend with the books in Barnes and Nobles and
Did it
contend
make you
in the book.
feel? Make you feel though like you were back in school?
Yeah.
Like-
She had a whole class for me. She had a whole PowerPoint of past, like words like past, PAST or PASS. Like I had to go back to school because I'm just writing. I'm not worrying about which tense or
Which pass is it?
Which
Yeah,
pass
yeah,
is it?
yeah.
I'm just writing past because
Right.
it's past no matter what. So it was a
They'll
lot of
figure it out.
learning. But it was good because all of those comments that she have is
That's
in
it.
a document, and when I write my new book, I'm looking at it before and say, okay, when I write past to know not to, because
one?
it's
Right.
it's to better my
Your grammar,
vocabulary.
your grammar.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Yeah, that shit gotta be on point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
especially
So-
especially if you want to compete with like a higher.
Just higher
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta have your shit
Yeah,
on point. Like,
because I'm indie right now, an indie author. So I told you, Barnes and Nobles, they don't really mess with indie
Right.
Which is
authors.
fine.
But if you look at my book, it looks like literally
A
you can
Barnes and Noble
have it
joint.
right, on
yeah,
the shelf.
like the
You
way
get
the
what
book
I'm
feels
saying?
is cool
Now,
too. Like,
Yeah.
This is
is that all thought out too, or it just happened to be like that? Because like just the feeling of the
oh,
book.
the
Yeah, so
whatever
it's two-
the material is, right?
It's two
This
ways
ain't
you can
regular
get
ass
the
paper.
book.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
right.
It's not
Right.
like-
It's matted and it's also gloss. Gloss to me is more so for female authors
Well,
or women authors.
Okay, so it was an
it's
idea
matted.
already. All right,
Yeah,
gotcha.
it's a matted finish.
Now,
Yeah,
the picture. That was a big question of mine. What inspired the picture itself?
right. So Grand Street Projects, doesn't it look like Grand Street Projects?
Yeah, right, yeah.
Unfortunately, it's
Nah,
not
actually
because
don't.
we couldn't find
The street, the actual
the
pictures.
actual picture of
Yeah,
Grand
you're
Street
not.
Projects.
You got to get an idea.
Yeah, so
I would have
it
took
was
a picture
two
of the school
buildings.
that's there now.
I know, international, right?
Nah, but that looks totally different though.
Nah,
from what
yeah.
Yeah, it do. So it's based off Grand Street Projects because that's where it all started. And then the train is just like the journey that they travel throughout the book. And
Oh, okay,
you're
okay.
going to get off at each stop. Like you're going to have Kashmir stop. You're going to have Kareem stop.
Okay.
You're going to have Mason stop.
That's a
And then
lot
at
of
the
thought.
bottom, yeah.
All right,
And
so
then
you
at
put
the
thought- so you
bottom,
put thought into the cover. Right,
yeah.
A lot of
And
thought
at the
on that
bottom,
cover.
you have basically a hood, houses that are decapitated. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that
no.
that's where we came from. On the 4th, North Main,
Right.
like we had houses that were abandoned that we were playing in, and you get what
Right.
I'm stuff like
we
that.
was talking about
We spoke that in the last podcast.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah, the cover was definitely thought out. I didn't want in the genre that I'm in, which is urban, they usually have people, on it. It's very
Oh, like a homie with
diamonds,
boots,
yeah, like
like the Cash Money covers.
right. Yo, word up. So it had people on it, but I wanted to go in a different direction. I wanted to kind of like stand out.
Now, I mean, now that you broke it down,
Yeah.
to what it is, the 3 covers of it.
Right.
Yeah, because
Yeah, nah,
two,
that shows.
three.
That shows.
Does the sun represent anything?
So it's more so
Rising.
like it doesn't represent it, but when I look at it, it's to me like shine even in your brokenness.
Gotcha. It's deep.
You get what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
Okay.
You
I
gotta
like
shine
that.
because it's built. So you gotta the shine is on the built part. So you gotta build even in your brokenness.
Oh, and you know what? Now that you said that, yeah, and you did that, it hit me. You're right, cause and
Wow.
every time the chapter starts, there's a little train or something on the names. You're right. Now I just caught on to that.
Yeah.
All right. Now I got
It's the
symbol
stops.
to it. All right.
Yeah,
I see you. Okay.
it's definitely the different stops you take while you on a reading ride.
Got
you get what I'm
got
saying?
All right,
That's
all
dope.
right.
Like,
That just hit
so-
me when you did that. I'm like, wait, the pictures. that's
And
right.
it actually just happened like that. Like literally, I was talking to B Love. You might as well say she's like my mentor at this point because I mean she gives me so many resources and so many tools, to make me better at what I do. She was like, "How do you want the chapters?" I'm like, "I want something like a train or like a building or something." And literally,
And then
she
was
sent it
like,
with the train.
whoa.
I was like,
Okay, that
Running
worked.
it.
it
Run the
worked.
train.
Run the train.
They were- and then on the Kindle version, it's in
Oh, there's a
color.
Kindle version.
Yeah, so it's on Kindle.
Wait, is a what on the cover? On the what?
It's in color.
Color.
So it's in color.
Okay.
So you know how the names in the beginning, all of this is in color.
Got you. Okay,
So
okay.
on the Kindle version, it looks.
Oh, okay.
It's so fire.
Oh, so we have a Kindle on that.
Yeah, definitely got a Kindle version because most people read on Kindle. It's on Kindle Unlimited for the people that pay the $10 or the $12 a month.
Yeah.
You know, on Kindle that read a lot. It's on there, so you know you can read and stuff like that. But yeah, like I had to get it on all platforms.
Nah,
good.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
only thing is the audio. The audio should be coming sometime in 2022. It's definitely happening.
But it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
That's more some extra steps.
It's a lot of work.
Gotcha,
It's a lot of
gotcha.
work.
Yeah,
but-
because now you got to look for a team,
yeah.
right? Like you're trying to have different
Yeah.
voices, you know. So
Yeah.
yeah, you definitely got to build.
Yeah.
a
I
team
think
for
what
that.
I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna do an audio book.
Of what? Of you reading?
No, I'm just my story.
yo.
I'm gonna make up a story, right?
Yeah, you could buy the built on broken pieces. Ranky red version.
All right, so
nah.
that's a good thought too. If you guys were to write a book about your life, what would it be called?
I don't know, cause your title is good.
Bruh,
that shit caught us
listen.
first, cause
I'll be struggling
to
to name the fucking episodes, motherfucker.
Gotcha,
like,
gotcha.
imagine me.
What? But no,
Gotcha.
but that's different. There's a science behind that.
It is
Cause we gotta
It
catch. It's gotta be a search bar, and it's gotta
Yeah,
make the
I know,
people come
it's-
up for
yeah.
it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
But that's a different science.
Yeah.
But he's saying a book. That's a different monster. That's kind of like
because it
What
has
would
to
you
be a
title
play
it?
on words.
Yeah, it's gotta be something
that's a
like
good.
built on broken pieces. Like we spoke about that. We're like, yo, I don't know what the fuck he came up with that, but that's a fucking
But
catchy.
that shit
It's
was
a pretty
catchy
good
as fuck.
title.
Yeah.
It's a title like, oh shit.
So-
And the fact that you fucking broke it down in the cover
Yeah,
is ridiculous.
yeah.
You get what I mean?
and then no, but even for the cover to even mean something, also it's like
that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
so like
shit.
that's
Like-
It have to go all together.
And you
It
have
has
to break it
tie
down,
in.
though.
Yeah, you have to see it because one of the questions that I got to, why purple?
Right.
And I said purple is royalty, number one.
Right.
But purple also catches the eye. Like literally, if this book is next to a black and white or another color, you'll look at this first because of the color.
the color's different.
Right.
Right.
You
right,
get what I'm
right.
saying? So that's why when
That's
I saw
us,
it,
that
I'm
Purple City
like,
Bird gang.
yeah, all day, that purple waves.
that's crazy.
So that's why purple just stood
All
out.
right, all right.
Like I everything was. It
It's
just was
thought
that's
out.
that-
Everything was
yeah.
thought out, and everything was
You
like,
thought
Yeah.
out
that's
well
dope.
because it looks great.
Nah, it does.
I
The
appreciate
cover,
that.
the
I
way it
appreciate
feels,
that.
like
Yeah.
Amazing.
to have that piece of work in front of you is
Yeah.
it's dope.
But
I
that's
mean,
what I'm saying. That's why I was like, yo, when you like finish that last page, like that shit must have. Mind you,
Yeah.
right, you don't got to cover it, and everything, but just still like.
Oh, the
typing.
cover was made before.
Oh,
the
damn.
end of-
everything.
So
okay.
Oh shit.
me working with Erica taught me a lot.
Mm.
You have the concept, you have the outline already. Get your book cover done. Because eventually, whether you finish it or not, at least you'll have your book cover, and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about it being delayed. You don't have to worry about any of that.
Shit,
And
so-
also, too, don't set a release date until it is past the first edit.
Okay.
Because you set a release date and then you get your edits and your edit is shits and
Yeah, you
you
gotta go
like
back.
you gotta go back. So I knew my release date all the time, but I did not put it out there
But you in your head, you had
And
it.
wait,
Right.
Gotcha.
you're working a full-time job, right?
full time job.
That's a
40
lot.
hours a week.
That's a lot.
40 hours a week. Plus
So
being a husband, plus being a father.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And you was writing a book, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely gonna do this audio book. I'm gonna start talking about that shit in the story.
Nah, that's crazy, right? Because I think a lot of people don't they don't put
Into perspective.
that. Yeah, like I'm still waking up to go to work,
Yeah.
and I'm
Yeah.
still coming home tired.
Yeah.
Still gotta shower, still gotta eat dinner, still gotta make sure my kids are good, my
Right.
wife is good, blah, blah. You know, and like all other shit. Those are filling pieces.
Right.
Like, all right, my book is important too, so now I got like it's a lot, and people don't really like think about that.
But
man.
that's why I
Like,
had to do it in the morning though. Because I feel like the morning the house is quiet.
Everybody's
sleep. Nobody's walking around. It's literally quiet. Because I felt like when I was going ham, I was doing mornings and evenings sometimes. And evenings was okay, but the house wasn't quiet, and I don't want to have to shut down my house just because I have to write.
need to
You get what I'm
think,
saying?
yeah, yeah,
It's not. It should not work like that. So mornings was best for me because.
I mean, I got my own room, so I could just go up in there.
That's a luxury, man. But even though I had a little space for me to like work out, mornings was just
Easy.
better. It was tough. A lot of mornings.
And it was working for you though.
Yeah, it was working. It was working,
Right, but
especially
that's
in that
dope,
beginning,
right.
because
Yeah, man,
the first
like-
100 pages I wrote like in a month and a half, probably.
And then everything started coming in line at the time.
Yeah, the first 100 pages was the toughest to write, though.
Mm.
If I could be honest,
How many
because
times did you delete?
yo, a
A lot?
lot,
A lot? All right.
a lot, a
'Cause, yeah,
lot.
'cause think about it, it's your
Especially
first.
when I read back, I'm like, that don't make no sense,
Yeah.
or that wasn't how I wanted it to be, so I'm changing around words.
Right, okay.
But we can't be stuck on that though, because I remember I was writing one chapter, I think it was Kashmir's chapter, honestly, and it just wasn't flowing the way I wanted to, and I was stuck on that chapter for a week.
Shit.
A week.
Remember when you was in school, you had to do the picture prompt shit? Like, remember that? Like,
Yeah, I was terrible at.
I was writing some shit,
Yeah,
yo.
nah.
They had like the little girl on the bench with a little bird flying. That bird was in my story.
I can't.
I spoke about how he flew down the street and shitted on somebody. It was on there.
Yeah, man.